Kanye West once rapped, "Having money's not everything, but not having it is." The same exact concept applies to grades. Having excellent grades is not everything, but not having them is, especially if your child aspires to go to an elite university. This video breaks down what I did to raise academic all-stars and how you can too. Check it out. Hi, I'm Lindy and I'm a supermom. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about how to raise academic all-stars. I have raised 3 children and they each are academic all-stars, and I'd like to share some interesting things for you to consider as you raise your own children. So grades are like currency for kids. Just like money gives you access, privilege, opportunities, the same thing is true of good grades. If your child has really good grades, and that's their reputation within their school, they have access to certain opportunities. They have better treatment, quite honestly, from their teachers and administrators, and they have the freedom to move around a little bit easier if they've already built a reputation of having really strong academics. So I'm going to walk you through 7 different things that you need to consider if you are raising an academic all-star or you aspire to raise an academic all-star. Number 1, discover what your child is naturally gifted and talented at. They need to have a passion for that thing, and they need to be gifted and talented in that area. That allows them to do a few things. It allows them to have joy and have interest when they're in school because they have something driving them, something that they're passionate about to keep them engaged. I can give you an example of my daughter. My oldest daughter was when she was younger, she was very, very interested in social justice. Very interested. She was a great ally. She really cared about the underserved communities, people that were less fortunate than she was, and she made it part of her mission to go forward and help people in the world. So much so that I would call her rainbows and butterflies because she just really had just a giving, loving spirit, and she wanted to help people. How that manifested into a passion and something that she was very good at is she started doing mission trips when she was 12 years old. That's really early to go on mission trips without your parents, but she did her first mission trip at 12 with our church. And from there, it was on. She went to Haiti every summer after that, and she worked with kids who were very, very poor. She worked with them to help them have recreation time, have fun, sit and talk with them, and just really made herself a giving presence for people who were less fortunate than she was. That even extended to the point where she went to boarding school so that she could continue on with her volunteerism at a high level, her leadership. A lot went into her becoming the person that she is, and it all started with us recognizing that she was naturally gifted at connecting with people and that she had a huge passion for helping people and just being a positive influence at a very early age. So find out what that is for your child. What makes them tick? What makes them passionate? What are they really good at naturally? That's step number 1. Step number 2, know their friends. Birds of a feather flock together. If your kids' friends are unmotivated, they don't care about grades, they just kind of want to hang out and do whatever, that's going to rub off on your kids no matter how bright they are, no matter how engaged they are with something. The friendships that they keep are very significant, especially in middle school and high school. I've seen friends bring other kids down who could have soared if they hadn't been around a group of kids who were unmotivated. So as parents, especially as super parents, we have to know who our kids are hanging out with, what they're all about, meet the friends' parents, you have to have a lay of the land. Now, it might seem like you're being nosy, trying to get in people's business, but yeah, you are, because their kids are going to influence your kids. So you want to make sure that your kids' friends and their families have the same values and same goals that you do, that they are striving for excellence, and that they want their kids to have extremely bright futures based on hard work. So that's super important. Point number 3, energy output equals successful outcome is what I would always tell my kids. What they put into something is basically what they're going to get in return. So yes, they have to sacrifice and spend time studying and spend time doing things that may not be super glamorous, but in the long run, they turn into healthy habits, great academic habits, and then they get the grades. That's how it works. You have to put the energy into it in order to see results. And that's something that in this society, kids aren't taught a lot. It's kind of like anything goes in a certain respect. No, as super parents, we have to let them know when they're focused, when they're putting energy into something, that is when they'll have great results. Over and over and over again. You have to build that muscle within the kids. They have to build it really, but you have to enforce it and make sure that they're following that path so that they can practice, put their energy into something and then get a good result. And once they have a taste of that, keep that going, then that becomes second nature. Number 4, you have to teach your kids how to be their own hype people, how to be their own biggest cheerleader. We as parents, especially as super parents, as we're raising our kids from infancy to, teens and beyond, we are their biggest fans. We are the ones yelling on the sidelines if they're in a sport or, doing anything extracurricularly, I should say. We're the ones that are cheering them on, clapping, doing all the things, keeping the energy level high. We have to teach our kids how to do that for themselves, because there comes a point where we're not there anymore. We're not the ones that are going to be motivating them externally. They have to have that internal drive. They have to hype themselves up. They have to be their own biggest fan. And that's super important. They can't rely on external. The older they get, they have to rely on internal motivation. They have to rely on them psyching themselves up to do great things. So learning how to transfer that power, that influence from us to them in terms of that, keeping their energy high, keeping them moving forward, keeping them, being motivated, that's something we have to teach them. Start teaching them at a young age that they have to hype themselves up. They have to be their own biggest cheerleader. Super important. Number 5, you have to teach a child how to embrace uncomfortableness. Everything is not always smooth sailing in life, and kids, it's really hard to teach a kid how to put themselves out there in a situation that they're uncomfortable in, but that's the only way they're going to grow and build the confidence that they need to know that they can conquer certain situations. A good example of that is when we moved our daughter. She had just left 7th grade, was about to enter 8th grade. We moved out of state and into a whole new school. So she left her friends behind that she had been with since kindergarten and just was really close with a group of girls. She had to leave them all behind to move to our new city. Well, she was really, really stressed and worried about, would she fit in? Would she do well? Just all the normal things I guess you would be worried about going into a new environment. So we had to really talk with her and let her understand that this is a good thing, because she can make that move now, learn how to make friends, learn how to fit into a new city, new environment. So when she goes off to college, she'll be able to easily slide into a new circumstance, a new situation, knowing that she had successfully done it before. And that's really important for us to help our kids to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, because they come up all the time. We know that as adults, but we have to teach our kids that at an early age. Number 6, you got to teach your child how to be a leader, not a follower, how to be an independent thinker. It's very, very easy to follow the pack, especially in high school. That's what kids want to do. They want to blend in. They want to not be made fun of. They want to not be bullied. They want to just kind of mix in and blend in with the crowd. But that's not the path to success. That's not the path to doing what you want to do and being true to yourself and being a genuine person. So a conversation that I had with all my kids is you have to take the path less traveled, period. It may be difficult. It may be something that you don't want to do at the moment. You may feel awkward. You may feel like people are staring at you, talking about you, all those things. And they may be. But it's really super important for us as super parents to sit with our kids and let them know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to stand out. And it's okay to shoot for the stars because they're great. They were born to be great. But they have to, at a certain age, get permission from us, letting them know that it's okay to step out on your own and do your own thing. Hanging with the crowd is fine. I mean, you can socialize and have fun and have friends and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, being true to your inner core, who you are as a human being, is what's going to matter in the long run. So getting that message across to our kids is critical. And last but not least, this may be the most important thing to do, but it's the last thing in my video because I want this to really stick with people, anyone that watches this video. Building up self-esteem. Building up self-esteem in children is probably one of the most important things we can do as parents. Because without self-esteem and self-love, what is it all worth? Not a whole lot. So how do you build self-esteem in children? The one way to build self-esteem in children is continuously talking to them about their strengths and their successes. Yes, kids will have opportunity areas. Yes, there'll be things that they're not good at, academically and otherwise, but the foundation of building self-esteem is working with the kids to let them identify and understand and really own what they're good at. Because once they understand that they are good at something, probably really, really good at something, then they know that they can work their way into being good at other things. It might even be something that they're not good at today, but they have the confidence and the strong sense of self that they can build their way to doing anything. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Letting kids know that they're great, that they have the potential to do what they want to do, and that we're born to be successful. And we're here to support them in that venture. So those are the things that I really emphasize with all three of my kids, just from birth all the way through consistently. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, some of the things that maybe you do to create an academic all-star, but it really starts with the fundamentals, and then you can just leap forward from there. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.